1v1 sort of tower defense type game. And the idea behind it is that you will craft a deck that includes 8 different cards. And if you've ever played the game Clash of Clans, a lot of these cards will look very familiar. So, essentially what you do in the game is you create a deck with 8 different cards, and you go up against an opponent who also has a deck of 8 cards. And the idea is that on each side of the battlefield, there are 3 towers. Okay. You have a tower on the left and a tower on the right, and both of these are called your princess towers. Your princess towers, at least at the start of the game, you can change it later, but at the start of the game, your princess towers will have troops on them, the princess troop, and they will shoot down arrows at whatever troops your opponent sends towards them. Your central tower in the middle of your side of the arena is your king tower. And your king tower has more health points than your princess towers, and it also has a cannon in the middle that can be activated, and it will shoot at the troops that your opponent puts on the ground. So the idea behind how to win in Clash Royale is you want to destroy your opponent's towers. So in a sense, it is a tower defense game. It's not a typical tower defense in the sense where you are upgrading defenses in preparation for automated enemies to come your way. It's not like a balloons tower defense type game. Instead, it is a 1v1 real type game. You are playing against real players. And when you craft a deck, it's important to think about which card you want your deck to be based around. So what that means is there is a selection of cards in the game known as win conditions. And for example, the win condition that I'm using in these games that you're watching is the Hog Rider, who is this guy with a hammer, and he rides on the back of his pig, Hog, and goes straight for the towers. And basically how a win condition works is it is a card that is designed to take down towers and buildings. It is the card that you want to build your deck around. A deck without a win condition is almost certainly doomed. It's very important to pick one wisely and craft your deck around it. You want to pick cards that are going to synergize well with your win condition. In the example of Hog Rider, you want cards that are going to be cheap and effective at stopping pushes, but also ones that will allow you to cycle. And cycling basically just means getting back to your win condition in a quick manner. You want to place down cards that are cheap so that you don't burn your elixir, and you want to get back to your win condition so you can cycle it and use it to apply pressure to your opponent. Elixir is what you're seeing on the bottom of the screen, that purple bar that's filling up. That is your elixir bar. And your elixir bar allows you to place down troops each troop that you place costs a certain amount of elixir. And when you place this troop, it takes your elixir from you. So you can have up to 10 elixir at once, and you can utilize that elixir to place troops around your side of the battlefield to create pushes and defense. So the goal, essentially, is you want to overwhelm your opponent and take down their towers. The game ends either if the timer at the top expires and you have successfully taken out your opponent's towers, or if you 3-crown them, which means you take down their king tower in the middle. Most of the time when you 3-crown somebody, it's a result of first taking down their princess towers and then taking down their king tower. That's typically how it works. You can play 1-on-1 or you can play 2-on-2. Those are the two standard game modes. The one that I was playing just now is called Trophy Road. I'm just like watching my own video for the timing here. So to kind of give you an idea of how the game works, I'm going to be spectating this game here and providing sort of a live commentary. So I'm cycling my Ice Spirit is what I'm doing here to get better cards in my hand. I'm using the bats to try and activate the king tower, but it doesn't work. Sometimes what you can do is when your king tower gets hit, it activates the cannon, which is very useful. He sends in his Hog Rider, so I cannon to block it, and then I send in my Hog Rider, which gets some nice damage on his tower. I think he made a mistake there because he said oops. So I cycle my Ice Spirit again and I set up a knight in the back. Sometimes when you want to create a big push, you can put cards in the back and they'll slowly march their way up to be paired with other cards. So I cannon both to open up my deck and also anticipate his Hog Rider. He does the same. So I place my Hog Rider and I set up my Dart Goblin to take out the cannon, but he puts his knight down, which blocks my Dart Goblin, so my push was unsuccessful. And so the Dart Goblin and the Ice Wizard take each other out. So here I'm sort of just waiting to see what he's going to do. He puts a Hog Rider down. I don't have a cannon in cycle, so I panic for a second and I just put down bats and a knight, and that wasn't the best play. I kind of made an error, but my bats take out his cannon, so then I Hog Rider because I know he doesn't have a cannon in cycle, so he has to rocket this, and because he used elixir on his rocket, I can put my Dart Goblin down because I know that he's low, and this will lock onto tower and get some very nice damage. I set up a cannon preemptively to predict his Hog Rider, and then I set up a knight. He sets up his knight as well, and they will meet up in the middle. He puts his Hog Rider to the left and avoids the cannon, which is something that he's going to do a couple times in this game. I put my Hog Rider down, he blocks with his cannon. I don't want to overcommit to this push, otherwise he has a very nice counter push setup. So I notice that my one cannon's about to die, so I set up my next cannon. He logs it, and I take out his Hog Rider. So I just set up a cannon here. Buildings are very important to stop pushes, but he's kind of caught on to what I'm doing with my cannons, so he's trying to chip away the other side of the field because he knows that that's weak. So I set up a Dart Goblin to take out a cannon, and then I put my Hog Rider down. He gets knocked back by the evolution and targets the cannon, otherwise that would have been game right there. My knight gets some nice damage on the other side. He puts another Hog Rider down, which is chipping away my left side tower. I put down an Ice Spirit and a Dark Goblin, it gets killed. And then this is what wins the game right here. I use a log for the skeletons, his cannon's too late, and I've won the game. So that's the idea. When you play games of Clash Royale, they can get very... what's the word? They can get crazy pretty quickly. Somewhat stressful if you don't quite know what you want to do. So you have to constantly be aware of what you're doing and what your plans are. I get a wild card here, I level up Boss Bandit. I actually kind of want to get some decks that use Boss Bandit. So I've been playing the game for a while. I actually have an account that's from 2016, but I don't think it exists anymore because I made it and then I've forgotten all of the details. So this is a different account. This is the one that I made in 2020 that I'm playing on. So now I'm playing another game mode, and this one's called Merge Tactics. And if you've ever played Teamfight Tactics, then this will look quite familiar. It's pretty much the same exact idea. So in Merge Tactics, you start with a certain amount of elixir. Sorry, I'm getting more comfortable here. In Merge Tactics, you start with a certain amount of elixir, and you can use this elixir to place down troops on the battlefield. And these troops on the battlefield, what they'll do is they will essentially target the opposing team's troops, your opponent. It'll target their troops automatically. And what you want to do is you can spectate your opponent to see what troops they're putting down and where. And then from there you can place yours accordingly. And depending on your knowledge of the game, you can sort of anticipate what kind of interactions will take place. And an interaction is basically just how do two troops interact with each other. Same thing applies to Trophy Road. How does a hog rider and a cannon interact? Once you know what that interaction is, and you've memorized how cards will act around other cards, will one take out the other? Will they take each other out? Will they ignore each other? Things like that. Once you figure that out, then what you can do is form strategies based on interactions that you have memorized. One of the cards in Merge Tactics, the Golden Knight, is very strong. And what he does is when he takes down an enemy troop, he will charge. And his charge, he can charge into other enemy troops and take them out. And he will continue charging until he hits a troop that he can no longer take out. So here I'm just upgrading some cards. I take a quick peek to see where my opponent's cards are. I move my cards around in a desirable way, or hopefully a desirable way. So as you can see, my Golden Knight backed up because of their traits. A trait is basically a secret power that is enabled when you place your card in a certain zone. As you can see, Golden Knight took out that skeleton and then dashed and took everything else out, so very, very strong. The nice thing about Merge Tactics is you don't necessarily need to get first place to get ELO. You can get second place and still gain ELO rate. And that was gross, sorry. You can still get second place and get ELO from playing Merge Tactics. You don't necessarily need to get first. If you get third or fourth, though, you're going to lose some ratings, so you want to make sure that you're actually playing well. And in this game, I play pretty good. At least for a beginner, I'm still new to Merge Tactics. Unfortunately, one of my most powerful troops gets turned into a bunny rabbit here, but it's okay, because this player has already lost the game. Actually, no, they haven't. This was the number one guy. This is the guy that lost the game. So I took him out. Nice. It's lucky when you get to play against last place player because it picks a different opponent every round. It's nice because then if they've already lost, you don't really need to worry about what they have set up on their side of the field. You can pretty much just win the game just because your cards are going to be stronger generally. This is kind of a funny photo of me. You can't really see my mouth anymore. All you see is the top of my head, and I'm just like talking. So here I'm going to sweep this guy. Alright, looks pretty good. And then we're going to get ready for the final round against the number 2 player. So I take my goblin. I'm thinking, okay, how can I get like a 4-star dark goblin? Because like, if you combine the same troop, you upgrade it, and when you upgrade it, it gets a lot stronger. So here I am thinking, okay, I have a 3-star and a 2-star. This guy's got 1 star and 2 stars, so I should be winning this battle. So I'm just organizing my troops. We got a couple seconds left before the round starts. And the crazy thing is that in merge tactics, sometimes there's some interactions that you don't know about, which really, don't go well. So here the witch is spawning skeletons, and I am targeting those skeletons instead of the troops on the screen that matter. And because of this, the dark goblin in the back takes everything out. And a similar thing happens. I think I lose this game, but I got 2nd place, so that's not too bad. I still get some rating for that. I have to keep clearing my throat, sorry. Diet Coke, not sponsored. That's good stuff. But anyway, I've been playing Clash Royale for years. Even though I'm not that good of a player, I still enjoy the game. And I thought I might make a couple videos on it here and there to kind of just like spread it to those who don't play it. I think it's really fun. Yeah. So unfortunately I do lose this game here. His skeletons completely swarm and just take me out. But I did get 2nd place, which is a solid finish. My phone does a little weird thing here, but that's fine. So I take my elo. I passed 500, which is almost to silver, which is nice. Yeah. So just like Clash of Clans, this game is clans. And this is the trader. You can trade certain cards with tokens. Your clan can participate in clan wars. This is the clan that I'm in. It's very inactive. But that's it. And then you can trade cards with people. This is the shop where you can spend money to get certain items and emotes and upgrades and things like that. I try not to spend too much money. I usually buy the Pass Royale, which is just the battle pass. But there's that. Trophy Road has... What am I doing here? Oh, I'm looking at my trophies. Yeah, I'm at 8704, but my clan says 8647, so... So this is my profile. My current battle deck. Favorite card says Hog Rider, but it's actually Dark Goblin. I love Dark Goblin. I think it's very strong. I think I show off, yeah. So these are all the cards that are in the game. So you can make a deck with 8 of these cards, and you can pick any group of 8 cards that you want. Certain decks work better than others, so it's important to pick a set of cards that you know is going to work well for you, and what your goals are in the game. There are different kinds of decks, like there's bait decks, and there's beatdown decks, there's bridge spam decks, things like that. and they're all built around certain win conditions, like Hog Rider, Ram Rider, Mortar, Expo, Goblin Barrel, Skeleton Barrel, things like that, those types of cards. There are also certain emotes in the game that I'm going through here. Some of them are funny and a little bit toxic, but like this one's really funny. But what you can do is you can send these emotes in game to react to what your opponent's doing, and kind of get in their head a little bit. It's funny. And then here are all the emotes down here that I don't have yet. I think that snowball one's really funny. There's a lot in the game, and every day 3 emotes are in your shop, so you can roll the dice a little bit. If there's an emote that you want, it might appear in the shop. And then this game has, I think eventually will I go there? It's a leaderboard. You have different challenges you can do. I might have already gone to the leaderboard and just missed it. Anyway, this is a training match between me and Trainer Cheddar, and I actually get absolutely rolled in this game. I lose really badly, which I'm going to chalk up to the fact that he is all level 15 cards. So what you can do is in the training camp, you can go up against trainers, and basically trainers are just bots. You can go up against these bots in one-on-ones, and you can face off against them, and they will use different decks to try and counter yours, I'm pretty sure, or something along those lines. But the goal basically is for you to just get better at the game without having to face real players if you don't want to. I don't really use the trainers that much. I just go for regular 1v1s, or I just play Trophy Road. But yeah. So spectating this game, he puts down Balloon, which I try to counter with my bats and my Royal Delivery. I throw my Dark Goblin down here to try and clean everything up. I take the Balloon out, which is very nice. And I also poison the Giant. I put my cannon down to redirect the Night Witch and the Firecracker, but they arrows it. So I can't really build any push here because I'm quite low on elixir. So I stupidly put down a Naked Hog Rider to see what they have to counter it, and he puts down an Electric Wizard, E-Wiz. I do get one hit on a tower, but now I'm low on elixir, so I put my Knight down to try and counter the E-Wiz. But because I'm very low on elixir, he can make a really big push. So he puts down Giant, I put my Dark Goblin in the back. I think I'm going to go Bats here. And then he just takes it out, but I do activate the King Tower, which is very nice. Sometimes with Firecracker, you can throw down cards to activate the King Tower. I use Log to get all this away, but it doesn't kill the Firecracker because they're all level 15. So I try to counter because I know he just burned a bunch of elixir. So I use my Ice Spirit to freeze these guys, but it doesn't really do much for me. I use Royal Delivery here for the Night Witch, and then I use my cannon to help with the Dark Prince and my bats to try and clean everything else up. But it doesn't really matter. He's just going to start spamming me now. He puts his Giant in the pocket. I can't really do much against it. I have to Royal Delivery here. And he's putting his Balloon down, and at this point the game's pretty much over. There's really nothing I can do. So I get completely rolled this game, but that's fine. I just throw my Log in Resignation, and that's the game. That's what it looks like to 3-crown somebody. They just completely overwhelm you. Courtesy of Trainer Cheddar 2. But anyway, yeah, so that's basically the game. And there's different levels as well, all the way up to level 70, and if you go all the way to the bottom, you can see what you unlock at each level of the game. So, for instance, level 3, you get more deck slots, you can get magic items, evolutions, Pass Royale, the Battle Pass, you get star points, Clan Wars, Card Mastery, Clan Trading, Royal Tournaments. Your King Tower goes up, gives it more health, you get gold crates, evolution slots, and then once you get into the 50s, I think you start getting evolution shards, which allow you to make evolved cards. and they're pretty much just stronger versions of the regular cards. You have to cycle them a few times to unlock it, though. But there's that. The game also has a leaderboard, which shows you who the best players in the game are. Today was actually the final day of the World Championship, and Mohammed Light, who's the best player in the world, just won his 3rd World Championship. So this is his profile. He has all of these badges for winning the World Championship in 2024, playing in 2022. He just won again this year. So those are his badges. Overall, just a really great player. There's his deck. But yeah, so I'm ending the video here, and that's pretty much it. Just wanted to show you guys the game and tell you a little bit about how it worked. If you're interested in me playing more, let me know in the comments. I'm always down to do game reviews and things like that, and play other types of games while also making ASMR content. I want to thank you guys for supporting me on the last videos I made with the cooking video and the pumpkin video, which surprisingly did very well. The pumpkin video, I think, hit the algorithm pretty good. The cooking video, not so much. But we're going to keep uploading. We're going to keep with our consistency. Yeah, if you guys have any ideas for videos, let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.